Hello, hello. Bl'Artagnan here, with Commodore of the Skies, the Aranea Lost Chapter Lufenia Plus. We're bringing a no synergy team featuring Bartz, Galuf, and Trey. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Both really help support the channel, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the fight, your experiences with the team you brought, who you brought. I want to hear from you. So Trey and Galuf are both pretty darn useful for this stage. Galuf because basically everything the bosses do can be dodged, because Prompto being the featured character, and Trey because the orb is +1 for crit, +1 for range damage. And Trey not only does range damage, but he does range damage by the boatload, in lots and lots and lots of dumps over the course of the fight. So you'll be able to see that he keeps the orb from ever doing anything remotely resembling threatening us. I know we're hitting a little bit weak sauce at this point. Galuf hitting for 1's very impressive. We're actually bringing Eldnarsh in here because he has a little defense down on his call. We're going to be taking advantage of both of those during the course of the fight just to keep our damage up, because they have very high defense in this fight. Trey taking advantage of the Kurasame enchant. We're also taking advantage in large part of Trey's insta-break, because your that yellow and red shield stance they go into actually reduces the brave damage you deal and the brave gains you get. So using Trey here to kind of hopefully knock them out of that if we can. Granted, they're in red now, so you can see our damage is really going to be kind of tanking for a few turns, but it's okay. We're going to be slow rolling them a little bit here, so don't you worry. Nice thing about Trey is he basically keeps the orb completely in check regardless of his two teammates, so we can bring a pair of melee characters and not really care. So here we go, they've both used their scary shield attacks. Galuf has ignored them. A little launch there. And yeah, we're going to try and let that Kurasame buff count down, because there's a lot of enemy turns going on. Going to be bringing in the Bartz Burst Plus here. I blued my Bartz because I like Bartz a lot. He actually hits pretty decently hard this fight. I don't know, can't say he caps the whole fight or anything like that, but given the bit of the meme that Blue Bartz is, I was pleasantly surprised to see that. Yeah, look at that hitting for maximum brave damage. You'll love to see it. I don't know. The whole Hushu Blue thing is, I think, not a super necessary debate to have, but it feels nice when a blue you have actually puts in some work. Speaking of which, Galuf putting in some work here. He is not blue. Can't say I've made that particular plunge, but it's okay. Yeah. With Trey and Galuf, though, you basically neuter the threat of this fight. The one concern you have at that point becomes the reductions, just the Lufenia plus stat reductions. Galuf and Trey both somewhat older characters at this point. They need a little bit of help to really maximize their potential. That's where Bartz BT Plus comes in, being a fantastic aura stat stick of sorts. Gonna go ahead and use the Eldnarsh call to get a pair of launches on Galuf's turn with all 3 party members. I didn't want Trey to get the second launch and, Galuf miss out on participating. It also applies another defense down debuff, which is just what we want. Go ahead and refresh that Kurasame. Trey's going to have a grand time for the next few turns being Ice Enchanted on top of Wind Enchant. He doesn't stack, but hey, weakness damage up from the call is pretty handy. And Galuf can actually take advantage of it now. So the last call we brought is going to be actually Shantoto, who will be busting out a little bit. For the same reason that we brought Eldnarsh, which is that she has she kind of has a double dip of defense down that we can bring. With both her base call, applying a Cursed Gaze, which is a defense down, and her LD, of course, applying 100% defense down for the one turn it's active. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Ace now, the Ace friend, because I don't know if you've gotten a chance to work with Ace BT friend, but woo-wee, it does some good stuff. I don't even use it especially well here. You'll see I make some miscalculations, just kind of slow roll things a little bit too much, and kind of pay for it here, because we go into summon, and Ace is finally using his LD here. This means that we've spent 2 turns with Ace not having his LD Blind Stud debuff active. which is a little weak sauce, but it's okay. The goal here is to do that whole BT stacking thing that people talk so much about. We flipped him over now. I guess I could have AA'd with Bartz in order to get it, in order to get his burst active sooner, but it's okay. We're doing just fine here. Trey with the fantastic off-turn damage from his 2 skills. The enemies are kind of delayed at this point, so we can get pretty aggressive. Gonna go ahead and drop Rage Bio now to take down Blind Stud while also getting that defense down. And go into the proper Bl'Artagnan burst. Bartz burst. Jeez. Freudian slip there. Jesus. Now, since the Burst Plus effect is not currently up, the gains are not the greatest, which is why I'm avoiding hitting that guy with the launch until the last second to maximize the battery. Boom! Look at this. There's some decent damage, and now we are now finally stacking bursts, the thing that you're supposed to do in Lufenia Plus, apparently. And we are getting some decent mileage out of it, although it's a little sad to see Ace is actually going to be going in a second, so we really didn't get that much out of this. We'll get enough, though. We'll get enough. Don't you worry. Saving that Toto LD for after Ramuh Paralysis is worn off. I wanted Ramuh here because I wasn't sure if Galuf would be on the field when they were able to attack us. As you see, I was trying to avoid letting them take turns while Ace was out. And I wanted that extra layer of security with Ramuh. I guess I could have used Toto for that, but, well, here we are. I can't complain too badly. Bartz, of course, providing excellent auras, that wind enchant, the wind weakness, without having to take up a debuff slot. I am loving the new and improved Bartz. Galuf hitting for maximum HP damage there. You love to see it. It's not especially impressive, but given that he was hitting for 1s at the beginning of this fight, I'm okay with that. So we're once again trying to take advantage of that launch situation if we can, but by waiting until more people are available to take advantage of it. Oh no, scary. God bless unkillability. Immortality, unkillability. What the hell is that? There we go. Now we got some defense down. Gonna spend a few turns taking advantage of that. This does mean the Galuf won't be countering, but I think we can live with that. So there we go. He's going to go ahead and take his turn. And now Galuf can finally launch this other dude. And because he can't, since we won't be getting a counterattack on him, we're going to go ahead and make him the one we're launching, even though the other one... Well, actually, this works out perfectly. There we go. We end up being able to give them both a full launch. I wasn't sure that was going to work out, but Trey is just dealing so much off-turn damage. You love to see it. It's really just fantastic. And a nice, decently powerful Dawn Katana relative to, well... Oof. Kill him with the off-turn damage. Wow, that was pretty... That wasn't painful at all. Anyhow, ran up on turn count, but I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next video. Adios.